We're going to talk about factoring a quadratic expression with a leading coefficient of 1. The method we're going to use is actually going to be called an AC method, but I call it an AC and check method because in factoring, especially when you're factoring trinomials, you always want to check anyway. Okay, so here's a trinomial with three terms, x squared plus 10x minus 39. It's also quadratic in form. Okay, in other words, it actually looks like what? It looks like ax squared plus bx plus c. And so that's what we mean by a quadratic expression. So let's perform an AC method to try to get factors out of x squared plus 10x minus 39. You already know that the first rule in factoring is to look for a greatest common factor. And out of these three terms, x squared, 10x, and negative 39, the only common factor is 1. So that's not what we're looking for. We're trying to get this to look like a product of two factors. So let's begin with the AC method. First thing you do is draw an x. And then you want to identify your A. Your A is 1. And your C is equal to negative 39. Now A times C goes right here. And then B goes right here. So A times C is negative 39. And then B is simply 10. Then you have to ask yourself this question. What two integers multiply to get negative 39 and add to 10? So people do this in many different ways, but some people do it systematically. What do we mean by systematically? So two integers that multiply to get you negative 39 and add to 10. So first thing you want to do is find the factors of 39. So, and we write them in pairs. You might want to write them in two columns, 1 and 39 and 3 and 13. There are no other factors. So don't want to pick 1 and 39. In fact, you want to pick 3 and 13. And then pick 3 and 13, put it here. Now they have to multiply to get you negative 39. So 3 times 13 is positive 39, so that's not going to work. So why don't we make this a negative 3? And then you have to add to get 10. So does negative 3 add 13 get you 10? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. Okay, so we're going to translate this now. We're going to translate this expression. I'm going to change the way this looks. I'm going to say this is x squared minus 3x plus 13x minus 39. And notice I put an equal symbol there, and that means that first expression is equal to the second expression. Okay, it's equal in value. Clearly it is. Now we're going to do factor by grouping. So first two terms, x times what? X minus 3, and then plus 13, and then what's left? X minus 3. Now what do these have in common? They both have an x minus 3 in common, and then what is the factor that's left? Simply x plus 13. Those are very different factors. So your final answer here is 2 factors. Now, we should check. You always want to check. So how do we check? I typically use the FOIL method, or the FOIL method. First position is x squared. Outside is 13x, positive 13x. Inside is minus 3x. And then the last is what? Minus 39. Does this check? Yes, it does. It checks with the original expression. So there you go. Now you could circle it. Once you say yes, then proceed to circle your 2 factors. Okay? Let's try another example. So let's clear the board. Wait a second. I don't want to clear this. Let's see if I can clear the board this way. And delete. All right. Well, Didn't quite delete one I wanted. So let's get rid of this too. All right, clear the board. Let's move this over here. Let's move this up. There we go. And let's find the factors for this. Y squared plus 10y minus 24. Okay, so identify your A and your C. A is 1, C is negative 24. Draw your X. Remember, negative 24 goes here because this is A times C. B goes down here. B was what? B is 10. I should say B is 10. Now, what are the two factors? What are two factors that multiply to get you negative 24 and add to positive 10? So that's our goal. Once again, you could do this systematically. You could actually go 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6, 5 doesn't work, 6. If you do 6, that means we're back at 4. So these are all the factors of 24. Now, what signs do you need to have? Okay. Let's think about it. Multiply to get you negative 24 and add to get to positive 10. So let's try negative 2 and 12. Would that do it? Put negative 2 here, put 12 here. That certainly will do it. Now, let's manipulate this first expression to be y squared minus 2y plus 12y minus 24. Let's change this expression again using factor by grouping. First two terms, y times y minus 2. And then the second two terms, plus 12y minus 2. Whoa, now what do they have in common? Y minus 2. And then, of course, with the distributive property, you can see that y plus 12 is left. Now, you should always check. Finish this procedure by checking. And I use FOIL. Y squared outside plus 12y minus 2y is in the inside. And then last, subtract 24. Is that our original expression? Yes, it is. So we could circle the factors now. Once you say yes here, proceed to circle your final answer. How many factors there are? How many factors are there? There is, in fact, two factors. The first factor is y minus 2. The second factor is y plus 12.